Welcome to Mission to Inspire, where we share life experiences in our careers, personal lives, society, culture, religion, finance, family, and much more. Meet your host, Shola Ajibade, as she takes you on a ride to fuel your inspiration.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mission to Inspire. My name is Shola, and we've got our wonderful guest here with us today. Her name is Judith Keys. Hi, Judith. How are you?
Hello, lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Judith Keys, she is on a mission to inspire us today. So, yeah.
I am.
So Judith, she is passionate about what she does, and she's going to be talking us through everything that she's doing around food, what she wants to also start. So there's something in the pipeline she'll be talking to us about as well. But she is a passionate advocate for taking bold leaps, embracing change, and pursuing dreams with unwavering courage. So that is actually what she does. She's a proud owner of My Food in France Limited. And also she's the founder of My Best Friend, which is a vibrant online community catering for the English speaking experts. I'm living in France, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's for English speakers who live here in France, the same as me. I'm based in France. So
okay.
yeah.
So our ambition spirit extends to curating unforgettable retreats nestled amidst the, beauty of our home in Provence. You will be talking us through all that as well. But before we dive into that, we want to know you better. So we're going to be asking you some this or that questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am always ready.
Okay, fantasy or reality?
Reality.
England or Paris?
Oh, that is a hard one because it would probably be England, I think. I miss home at the moment. So yeah, I'll say England. I love being home.
Okay. All right. We want you back home then. Pack your baggage. Okay, next question. English or French?
French.
Food or friendship?
Friendship always.
If you were to start again, where would you like to live?
I would love to live in the south of England, somewhere near Brighton. I absolutely love Brighton.
Great. Was that where you were living before you went to France then?
I worked and lived in Brighton and Lewis for 6 months before I moved here, and I loved it. I loved the people. I loved the area.
Yeah.
I love the vibe in Brighton, and yeah, I think I would spend some more time there for sure if I could.
Okay, so we're gonna dive into the interview questions now. We're just gonna ask you first about you. So what motivated you to pursue your passion for cooking and establish My Food in France Limited?
I have always had a passion for food and cooking, Shola, all my life. And it came mainly from my grandmother, who spent a lot of time cooking with me when I was a kid. So she taught me how to make really tasty, beautiful, simple food. And every time I went to her house to stay, she would cook like just really simple food, but I remember always being involved and being in awe of the things she made. She would make a cake with really simple ingredients, but it would turn out to be the most delicious thing I had ever eaten. So, and I think in my family, we were all quite foodie. We all liked nice food, and, you know, we were always willing to try new things. And yeah, so it's always been a big part of my life. And I think I've always been a creative person.
Right.
So creating new meals and trying new things has been a part of my life. So whilst I have done quite traditional jobs in the past, I
Mm-hmm.
always had this creative side that I wanted to explore. So, for
Yeah.
example, when I worked as a secretary in a law firm for a long
Mm-hmm.
time, I set up a cupcake business on the side
Right.
and did that as like my side hustle. So it's been this little thread that's come through my life. And then
Right.
when I moved to France 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I started a virtual assistant business. So I had
Mhm.
that for a long time, and
Yeah. It's interesting.
yeah, and I absolutely loved it. It meant that I could work anywhere, and I still
Mm.
have some clients that I started off with 10 years ago. I still work with them. So yeah, it was whenever I was off having my youngest little boy that I decided to start my food in France. The the foodie creative side of me
Mm.
was back again, knocking on the door saying, do something with this, do something with this. And it had always been there, but I think I had the headspace when I was off with my little one to sort of come up with how I could make it into a business.
Yeah.
And my food in France was born.
Wow. Wow. That is so great. So when you went to France, it wasn't for the My Food in business. You started your virtual online business.
Yeah, I started that because when I first came here, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I just knew I
Mm.
wanted a change.
You took a
And
very
then,
bold step though.
yeah, I wanted something different. I had been working as I said, I was a team manager in a law firm in Edinburgh for around 10 years.
Wow.
And I just got to the point where I couldn't really move anywhere. Do you know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like
mhm, mhm.
I was watching all the lawyers move up through the ranks and become partners, and you know, and in my position there really was nowhere for me to go. So I I felt a little bit stuck. I just bought my first house. I was doing all the things you're supposed to do, Shola, and then I just thought, oh no, this is not for me. I need to do something. So yeah, I moved here and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I met lots of people, and one of those people was an executive coach.
Okay.
Um
Wow.
and I decided, she actually said to me, "Oh, you could maybe help me with some work, you know, some taking care of her travel and doing, you know, lots of different things like that, helping, supporting her
Mhm,
role."
mhm.
And I thought, oh yeah, of course I can do that. So that's when the virtual assistant business was born, and I grew that to a successful company. And but then yes, then even that became a little bit like being back at the 9 to 5. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Oh
was back
yeah,
at a
that's
desk every day. And I think that's why this creative side has always been there. You know, it needed to come out again. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. Wow. Well done, you. You took a very
thanks.
bold step, and I think that's really paid off.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I do I love my life here. I really miss home sometimes. You know, I'm from
Mm,
Belfast in Northern Ireland,
yeah.
and I really miss home. But we've just booked flights actually to go back later this year. So I'm excited. I'll go
Good.
back and take my
Wow.
kids to meet my family and things. So yeah.
Oh, that is so nice. So, can you share some highlights from your interactive online cook along classes and how they
Yes.
enrich the
So
experience of the participants?
the cook along classes are my favorite part of the
Right.
business.
Ah,
So the My Food in France membership and business it's a membership model. So people join and they come and become part of the membership. So you
yeah.
pay monthly, it's £27 a month.
Mhm.
And what you get when you join the membership is more access to me. We have a private Facebook community, so we talk a lot in there about food, and there's a really lovely community in there already. There's people based in France, but also based back in the UK and America. We have some American people in there. It's really, really great group. And the classes are my highlight, but you get one class a month, usually at least one, where we'll cook together. And that is my favorite part, because we get to create something. So again, this creative side coming out by just using simple ingredients. It takes me back to making food with my grandmother, making something delicious together, and then the people who have joined me go off and can share that food with their family or friends. And it's just become such a lovely thing. We record them each month as well, so they go into my vault of content. So anybody who joins the membership gets access to all the previous cookery classes. They're all in there. There's loads of videos that I have put in there, lots of recipes. There's extra content, things about meal planning, and just lots of useful stuff, all to do with food. And it's not just French food. I have called the business My Food in France, because I love food from all over. So there is a bit more, I'll teach some nice French dishes as well. Obviously, I live here, but it's food from anywhere. So one of my members recently, Nikki, has requested that we do quesadillas next month. So that's going to be our cook along class in August. We're going to make some quesadillas together, and some more Middle Eastern inspired food as well. We're going to do that later in the year. So we've got lots of things in the pipeline, and I think the highlight for me though are those moments when we're together cooking as a group. Even though we're far away, we're doing it online. It's still a really amazing moment of connection.
Wow, that is so interesting. Do you cook the same? Is it the same recipe, the same menu?
So what happens is I'll sometimes ask in the membership, like, what do you fancy cooking next month? So that's where Nikki said she wanted to do the quesadillas, or I'll come up with something that we'll cook together. And then I send everybody the ingredients list, the Zoom link, anything they need that's, equipment wise, and they get that like a week before. And then we come together and we all cook the same thing. So if they're unsure, I'm with them. We're all doing it together. So it's just really lovely.
Ah, wow, that is interesting. You don't get to taste each other's dishes.
No, no, we don't. But we do share photos in the group. We do. We share our photos in, and so it's so funny because sometimes we're always all making the same thing, but quite often it looks different as well. I'm not really sure that happens, and this month's class is next week, and we are going to be making a savory loaf cake. So normally loaf cakes are things like cherry cake or lemon drizzle cake, that type of thing. They're usually sweet. But in France, they quite often make a savory version. So we're doing a courgette and a lardon cake next week. We can do it with lardons, or you can do it with Parmesan cheese or whatever you want. It's just a really delicious savor. It's great for summer, for picnics, that type of thing. So that is what we're doing in the class next week.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh my God. So, what inspired you to create My Best Friend in France?
So my best friend in France was born, again, a bit like the My Food in France, out of something in me that could spot a need in expats. So obviously I'm an expat in France. I'm not French. I moved here 10 years ago, and I have had lots of struggles along the way, Shola. It's not been easy. So for expats, it's a very particular thing, I think, because people think, oh, you've moved to France, it must be amazing, you're living the dream, it's so beautiful there, and wow, you just must, but real life follows you wherever you go. Like, I have struggled here. I've struggled with loneliness. I've struggled with isolation and just feeling different from everybody else. It's you do have a specific sort of, there's lots of good stuff happening. I'm extremely privileged to live here. I feel I've got a roof over my head. My kids are, we eat nice food, we're fine, but there's lots of stuff that you want to talk about and you sort of feel like you can't sometimes, and I wanted to create a space for other expats to come and just have a place to talk. So this is where my best friend in France was born. There's so much support for expats for things like visas and schooling for children, and there's lots of sort of practical help online, but there's very little sort of emotional and social support from what I could tell anyway. So I wanted to create this space where we could sort of all be together and just talk about life and support each other in a less sort of administrative way. There's loads of administrative stuff that I could help people with, but I don't want to get into that. It's more sort of emotional, cultural, social challenges, and let's talk about that. So at the minute, it's just a really lovely Facebook community. Come and join. It's free for anybody to join. If you are an expat in France, or if you're thinking of moving to France, come in with us. It's My Best Friend in France over on Facebook. And I've also started a podcast as well. If you look up My Best Friend in France with Judith Keys, you'll find my podcast as well. If you're interested in listening to a little bit of what life is like here in Provence, you can listen to that. And yeah, I really love it, Shola, because it's, I wanted to help people who are in my position. Maybe if I had had someone like me at the start, I might not have struggled with lots of those things, so.
Yeah. That's true. That's really interesting. Wow.
Thanks.
I'm sure you get a lot of guests on your podcast and a lot of people listening in. There's so many people that want to relocate anyway. So
It's very interesting. I've had some good guests on so far. We've had a really interesting guest. Edvija was her name, and she came to talk about going for a job in France and the challenges of trying to find a job as an expat. She's actually French, and she helps expats with the whole application process and what to expect with interview, and just a really, really useful resource for people. Yeah.
Wow. Well done. Well done, you. Great.
Thanks.
Happy days.
Yeah.
As a successful business owner, what challenges have you faced along the way?
So the biggest challenge I'm having at the moment is that a lot of people want to get back to face-to-face things since COVID. So when I created My Food in France, it was the tail end of COVID. So there was, people still wanted online things. And I think at the moment it's moving more towards in person. So whilst we have a great community over in My Food in France, and I want more people to come and join and be part of it, I have noticed that trend more for in person. So the beauty of virtual is that people can come and do the classes from anywhere. So I love that, and I think that's still really relevant, and people still do really love that they can just come and join a class from anywhere. And the trend for more in-person stuff, I hope this is the dream for next year, is to create a retreat for people to come and join me actually here in person, and we'll do a probably 5-day retreat here where we'll tour around all the different foodie spots near where I live, and we'll go wine tasting, and we'll try some cheeses, and we'll visit the local vineyards and do lots of fun foodie things here, take them to my favorite restaurants, and also just spend time soaking up the markets and things here. So that's the dream for next year, is to host an in-person event.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I was thinking that maybe you could also, when you're doing the virtual, you might be able to have some in person, face to face with you, in the venue. And
Yeah.
see what
When
they're
I'm
doing.
here,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I thought about getting some people to come, but obviously because where I'm based in France, unless I got like a local person to come, but it's because I'm based in France, it is harder for people to come and be here unless it's for like a specific, like a retreat or something. So but yeah, I could get like some expert foodies around here to come and join me in person on the call. That would be cool. It's a good idea. Thanks, Shola. Mhm.
Okay, you've already talked about your upcoming retreat a bit. So, but can you tell us more about it and the
Well,
unique experience that you aim to provide?
yes, I really, really want to do this because where I live is an extremely foodie part of France that is less well known. So
Okay.
most British people tend to go to the Dordogne or they'll go to Bordeaux, and in and around Paris. But very few British people come to this part of France where I am in the southeast. I am inland, so we're a couple of hours from the sea, and I'm in the Drum region, and it's really well known for organic local producers. There's lots of exciting things happening in this part of the world, and I would love to showcase that and for people to come and spend a week with me going around all the markets. The markets here, the closest one to me is one of the most beautiful markets in France. It's been voted as one of the most beautiful food markets in France, so it's just a must see. And then yeah, we have the wine, the cheese, the fruit and vegetables in the summertime are unbelievable here. There's so much to see and smell and taste, and I just can't wait to share that with people. So I think the retreat will involve staying in a beautiful place nearby, obviously, and then each day we will do a little outing to go tasting and probably have one meal together every day. And then there may be some other things thrown in. We shall see some little surprises along the way as well. I love organizing stuff like this. I've done it before for my other clients, where we've organized trips to France for their contacts. So
Yeah.
I'm used to doing it, and I think I can do a really amazing one for my food in France.
Wow. That's something we'll be looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how can we connect with you?
So the best place is just myfoodinfrance.com. On there, you can see the link to the Facebook page. Come and join the free Facebook group. It's My Food in France with Judith Keys. Just come and find me over on Facebook or
Yeah.
myfoodinfrance.com. And on there, you'll see the different things available. So on the website, you'll see the different products I have available, the membership, always the upcoming cookery class that I've got in the membership is also available to anyone externally. So you can come in and if you come and do one of my classes, you get a free month in the membership so you can test it out and see what you think. So if you want to even just come along to a class, you get a free month in the membership, a free access to all my vault full of recipes and recorded content. And if you want to stay on, you can. If not, you can just come and have a month in the lovely membership and get to see and know everybody in there. But that's the best place, yeah, myfoodinfrance.com.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Any inspirational advice for our viewers?
I would just say that if you have an idea, treat it with care and attention and the love that it deserves, and give it a chance. So, things have not always been smooth for me. I have struggled in business in the past, but I think if you love what you do, it's it's really good to try. I think been lucky because I had my VA business still in the background, so I didn't I wasn't starting out from zero.
Yeah.
I had that in the background as a little bit of a buffer. So maybe it's about if you're in a business already or if you're in work, that can sometimes be that can be a good time to start planning. Have a think about what you might want to do and put some of the wheels in motion when you have time. And then just give it your all. Just go for it. Really try. And, if you don't try, you'll never know.
It's true. We always have to try.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And you can just do it one step at a time. I didn't go all in and drop everything else, I've done it slowly. So that would be, don't I wouldn't risk everything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just take it slow, work out what you need to do to grow your business and start and just build. Just take it slow.
Yeah, that's true. Just take it slow. But then, like you did, take a bold step. Because if we don't take a bold step, we'll never do what we'll just think about it or write it down and never
That's
do
what
it.
I think. Try. There's no harm in trying. And when I put myself out there with this new business, it was extremely different from the VA stuff. People were like, "What? You're doing a foodie thing? What's this? I don't understand." And then 2 minutes, nobody. It's like people forget 2 minutes later. They're not there to. They're in their own heads. They're not worrying about what you're doing. They're just maybe interested in this new thing and might come and be part of it. And whatever your new business is, just go for it. Don't worry about what other people think. Just stay on your own path and follow your passion for sure.
Exactly. Follow your dream.
Yeah.
That's Thank you so much for joining us today, Judy.
Thank you, Shola, for having me.
And until next time on Mission to Inspire, it's Judith and Shola. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on Mission to Inspire. Subscribe if you have not already done so. Like, comment, leave a message. Let's stay connected. Let's jointly inspire the world.